Hello and welcome to Small Business, Big Life, inside Fort Orange General Store, where entrepreneurship meets marriage, kids, and controlled chaos. I'm Joe Slicko, and with me, as always, is my wife, business partner, and owner of Fort Orange General Store, Erica Cabello.
Hey everyone, how are you today?
So in today's episode, Erica's laughing already, by the way, everyone. In today's episode, we will discuss yet another amazing and event-filled week, but also a couple drops.
Yes.
That are very exciting.
I can't wait.
Well, you have to wait a little bit longer because, as you know, we have to remind all of our amazing listeners to please like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the things that we know you love to do to help a small emerging podcast like ours out.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for everybody that has taken the time to listen, comment, share, subscribe. We very much appreciate this from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
And to highlight just a few of our amazing listeners, we are now going to enter the Superfan Hour.
Woo! You got to do that cheering and applause thing. Yes, super fans!
I found that button on our little mixer, and we were playing with it before we started. So,
which is why I was laughing. You neglected to ask why I was sitting here trying to control my outburst.
Sorry about that, but I knew the answers. So there we go. Anyway, back to superfans. Our first superfan that we are going to highlight today is basically a character on our show, although he never actually has appeared as a guest yet.
He really does need to become a guest on our show.
I do agree with you. And that is my boss, my friend, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. How are you today?
So funny story, I was with Jeff and Karen, and he was plugging our podcast as he does to pretty much everybody, which is awesome.
So sweet.
Very much appreciated. And he was talking about how he is our biggest fan, our biggest supporter, and he's even been down to the store one time and didn't buy anything. Thank you very much, Jeff. So I said we actually have a super fan segment that we do now, because this was right before the last episode dropped, which is the first time we did it. So I said, it makes complete sense to give you a shout out on the next episode as a super fan. So boom, Jeff, done, super fan. Congratulations and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. And it was so great to meet you down there. And our next superfan that we want to highlight is Jenna. Jenna is an amazing supporter of Fort Orange General Store and our family. She will pretty much do anything to show how much she cares about us. Right, Joe?
This is true. And can you tell maybe the biggest, coolest thing that she's done recently for us?
Well, recently, she just decided to make a Fort Orange merch on her own free time, right? Who has free time nowadays?
Well, let's just, frame this for our listeners. I'm assuming Jenna is a graphic design artist.
Well, she is not.
Oh, then she must be in the merchandising industry.
She's not in that either.
Does she own a print shop?
Not at all.
What does she do, Erica?
Well, Jenna is a fabulous nurse, very hardworking, always there when you need her, the best nurse at St. Peter's Hospital there is. And then one day she came over to visit us. We had her over for dinner, her and Bally, other superfan, Bally. And she brought with her these fabulous two-tone Fort Orange hats, baseball caps. So cool.
Yes, they are very cool. I love them so much. I pretty much wear them every single day.
I try to wear mine as much as possible, but our 9-year-old steals it from me most of the time, so he's the one wearing it. But these are fabulous hats. You can check them out on our Instagram page because I did do a little reel about them. And if you love them, drop a comment because they could be our next new item to the store. So Jenna, get ready. You might have some sales coming your way.
And you never know where we're going to get our items from.
You really don't. I mean, if it's good, we want it. Oh, the other thing why Jenna is our giant super fan, and I'm sorry that was just not a natural lead in, but she is always there for everything we do down at Fort Orange General Store. She is there for hot chocolate stroll. She is there for all the First Fridays, her and Bailey, I should say, our super fan from last week. And she is also, her and Bailey have signed up to be a part of the 518 day race, Joe, on our team Sobro.
Can you explain Sobro again real quickly for any listeners who may have missed it last
Of
week?
course I can. So, Erin from Metroland and Shane from Ophelia's and I have been working on an idea to launch a new little nickname tag for our section of Broadway, South Broadway, where a number of businesses live, and it's just the cutest little section. It has a giant castle across the street.
And what is this castle?
Well, it is the SUNY Administration Building, formerly the D&H Building, formerly the train station. It's gorgeous. It literally looks like a castle, and anybody who comes down to that section always references, hey, what is that giant building across the street that looks like a castle? Like, it looks like it's out of Harry Potter. So we decided that we should call South Broadway Sobro, right? Like, hey, Sobro. And we will have the tagline like at the castle or something. Come visit the castle at Sobro, something like that.
Very cool. And how does that tie into 518 Day?
Yes, well, it ties into 518 Day in that we decided that we wanted to run the race, and why not create a team for racing and name it Sobro so that we can start to familiarize people with the name, get people using it. So I'm going to be making some inaugural shirts for South Broadway, Sobro, to see if it catches on, right? To advertise it.
Very cool. And who has already signed up to be on this amazing team of ours?
Well, we have Ophelia's. We also have Colson's News and Deli, a couple doors down from us. Lock and Key, our very next door neighbor, as well as Ellie and Jenna.
Fantastic. And all of our listeners are probably thinking to themselves right now, why didn't you say Joe? And that's because there is the potential pending shipping
Yes.
and arrival date of a fun surprise that I will be involved with. And I'm not going to say any more about it other than any of you who either came down to the hot chocolate stroll or listened to the episode, you'll probably know what avenue we're going with this one, but you won't know exactly what until 518 Day. And when is this 518 Day taking place?
518 Day is taking place on May 16th, not May 18th, 518. 5/16, because it is the Saturday closest to May 18th, which is our area code.
Very good. Thank you for that. And we hope to be able to roll out that surprise in an amazing way.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. And it really does encompass what Joe is famously known for from the hot chocolate stroll. Right, Joe?
Right. Now let's transition to a totally unrelated topic, of course. What happened this week down at the store, Erica?
Well, Joe, it was quite the week, as always, and this is why I love being down at Fort Orange General Store, because every day is new, exciting, surprising. So, Joe, what happened this week at the store was I was stocking shelves, fixing items, and all of a sudden I noticed this customer come in the door holding a big video camera. I greeted him like everybody else, kind of ignored what he was holding, although I found it odd.
Yeah, that's normal. We're just going to ignore the massive camera in your hand.
I mean, I didn't want to make any assumptions, but, I just wanted to treat him like a customer. So then he asked me if the owner was here, and I was like, well, I own the store. And he asked if he could ask me some questions about Nipper because he said he got online and looked at our website and noticed that we carried a lot of Nipper merchandise. And we are one of the only stores in the area that has such an extensive selection of Nipper merch.
And it's also interesting that we had just released
Right.
an episode before
Yeah.
an entire Nipper episode.
I know. The exact week prior, we had just got done with the history of Nipper, which was very interesting, coincidental or cosmic. I don't know, whichever you believe in. So anyways, this very nice man asked if he could interview me on camera, walking through the store, picking out the different items that show Nipper. And I was like, sure, that's no problem. But could I ask you, like, who are you reporting for? And he pulls out his business card and goes, for the Associated Press. I was like, okay, cool. This looks legit. So I don't mind saying a few words.
So just to review, any of you that want to come down to the Fort Orange General Store, all you need is a video camera, working, not working, does not matter, and a business card. And you pretty much have the run of the place.
All right. I'm not that gullible. He did look professional.
And look professional.
Then you might get me, okay?
All right. So credentials are there. He starts filming.
Yeah, so he mics me up, which is always interesting, and he tells me where to go and where to stand, and then he's like, just talk. I'm going to ask you some leading questions, so then you can just free flow with whatever you want to talk about, walk me through the store, point out the items, and that's what I did. I brought him through and around and pointing out all our cute little Nipper items, and we landed on our Nipper beanies, our ribbed beanies that sold out during Christmas time, which, funny enough, made the cut for this news article. It was a great time.
It was, and it came out really well because a couple days later, it was published.
I know. It was incredible.
And not only was it published on the Associated Press wire, but it was picked up by some local news outlets, WTEN, and I think maybe one more. And that's when our phone started blowing up.
Yeah, like our personal phones and our store phones. My mom texted me that night that it released and was like, were you on the news today? I was like, I don't think so, but apparently I was. So that was really fun. And yeah, down at the store, it was wild. It was like we were back in the holiday thick of it.
And we noticed a bunch of online sales started to come in way more than we normally had.
That was incredible.
And it was all Nipper items.
Everything.
And, here we are in the thick of life. Busy week,
Yeah,
and
Mother's
doing
Day,
all the
getting
things that
stuff
we're doing.
together.
And it took us a second to put those two things together. Like, oh my God, they're all Nipper items. I wonder if it's because of the news article. Of course it was. But when you're in it and, busy, it takes you a second to kind of, connect those dots. So we had a little chuckle at that.
It was 2 days of like serious online orders of Nipper related items. Not everything in every order was, but it was really incredible. And we very much appreciate the time spent in researching our store, coming down to talk with us, and highlighting us in that reel. So thank you.
And it also brought out really another super fan, didn't it?
Oh my God, yes. Because not only did we have the amazing online sales, the phone calls, we had so many people come in the store and be like, we saw you on the news yesterday. And we should have mentioned Mary Teresa as one of our top super fans of the week, because boy, oh boy, was she enthusiastic to be in our store.
So why don't you tell that story about her coming in?
Oh my God, she was the best. So she walks in, she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to be here. I've never been down here before, but I was just around the corner. Like, she told me her whole day already by this point. And then she met Rue. She realized Rue was in the store, came over, greeted Mary Teresa, and she was like, can I give her dog treats? I have some in my car. Let me go get them. So she runs back out to her car, grabs the dog treats, gives them to Rue. Rue is now her best friend. So then she's like, I need to get that Nipper sweater that I saw on the news. Can you show me where it is? And I'm walking her back. She's like, oh, but first I need these socks. And then we pick out the sweatshirt size for her. She's so cute. And then she stops and she looks at our Capital Classics tee that has the icon of Nipper, Capitol, and the Palace. She's like, I need that one too. I'm like, okay, that's great. So I bring her over to the register, ringing her up. She's telling me more about, what she did growing up. She's an Albany native through and through, secretary for the fire department, Albany Fire Department for years, retired from there. And now she's just living her best life, like going to fabulous lunches during the week, visiting dogs because she carries her dog treats in the car and feeds the cute little dogs she meets. And she also gave us this amazing little statue that is symbolic for business and to bring more business to our store. And she was just the kindest lady.
That is so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in at the end of all of this because I was working the closing shift. And so I come in and it's mid-story,
Mhm.
so, I don't know what's going on as usual on a good day. So, I'm trying to get my stuff oriented and whatnot, say hi to Rue, all the things. So you cash her out
Yep.
and she goes to leave and there's obviously other customers in the
Oh
store.
my God, yeah.
So she yells to one of them, like across the store,
She did.
hey, did you know that they were on the news? You should check it out. They're amazing. And I was like, oh my God, we need to hire her. She is as good, with PR as Rue is for us.
Oh, Mary Teresa, it was such a lovely pleasure to meet you. You really highlighted my day, our day. You just brought us such great energy. So thank you for that.
She was great. And she was one of probably half a dozen or so people that came down and just, talked to us about Nipper and everything. And, we had to explain that there is no danger of, Nipper going anywhere right now.
Right.
We didn't realize that was going to be kind of part of the article. Not that we had anything to do with that part of it.
No.
But, to our knowledge and to the knowledge of the city, Nipper's doing his thing. He's up there. He's not going anywhere.
No.
He's hanging out. So.
Right. Yeah, I was just asked to talk about our Nipper merch. That was it.
Absolutely. So that kind of, happened day after day and led us into Friday, which was First Friday this
It
week.
was, yes. First Friday. As always, down at Fort Orange General Store, we host a live music to accompany, a beautiful little curated shopping experience. And we stay open an hour later till 7 every first Friday of the month. And this one was no different. We had a great high school acoustic guitarist and vocalist. And I mean, Joe, I had to leave for the boys' game, but you got to be there for the rest of it. And it was quite a night, right?
It brought us back to like holiday time.
Again, yeah.
And I think it was definitely because of all the things going on, the Nipper article, the things we talked about last week with, just the buzz happening.
It is. There is a buzz.
And I said when I walked into the store that night, right before you left, I said, walking down the street, it felt like I was, in another place, like when you go on vacation and, you're walking down like a big, shopping area.
Right.
And it's, in some tropical paradise.
Oh,
and all the doors are open, to the shops. And it's that outside, inside kind of feel. It wasn't tropical, but it was warm for once in Albany. And it kind of felt reminiscent of that to me as I walked into the store,
I love that.
right before, the actual festivities for First Friday started. And it was just a really cool feel and vibe.
Yeah, it's funny you had that feeling because I had that, not the tropical feel, but I had that same thinking. When you relieved me, I had to go pick up our youngest from daycare to bring him down to the store to start off the music and get everything set with you. And then I had to run off to the game. But when I was walking back to the store with our youngest, I had that same feeling of people out, community happening, doors open, music playing. I mean, I think there was the band that they were hosting at Lock and Key, but it was a full patio of people, music going. It was just, it felt really alive and gave such hope and promise for what we are building down there.
I know, and I keep thinking about, this $200 million investment that's,
Mhm.
in the works. It's already in process and all the bids are coming through and all the developers are doing their things. Like in a year from now, 2 years
Yeah.
from now, 5, 10 years from now, it's going to look so different, but the same in
Mhm.
the same breath, if that makes any sense. And it's just exciting to know that we are going to build on what we have,
Right.
not scrap what we have, build on,
Mhm.
so that the culture of the castle and Sobro is accentuated, not
Exactly.
erased. And that's so cool.
It is. It is. There is such enthusiasm for downtown Albany right now. And after Friday, like I don't know, everything together that what we've been talking about and bringing awareness to, from the interest of like what do you want to see in downtown Albany come in, to our last episode with Nipper, to First Fridays this week, like there, and then the Nipper story. There's just a buzz happening right now. And like you almost, I get a high off of this adrenaline, like this excitement and other people's energy coming into the store and bringing that positive vibe, right? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it quite right, but there is something happening that's bigger than we know to put into words. It's a feeling that when you're down there, it feels good.
No, I definitely think you're right. And I think it's that whole Sobro atmosphere you were talking about at the beginning of the episode. It's people coming together, doing the things that the community wants and the community expects,
Mhm.
and we're doing it for the right reasons and with the right intentions. And I think that authenticity is really like hitting home right now.
Yeah, I love it because every business down there is a small family run business, and it's people who are putting their dreams on the line, like doing what they love, working really hard, and they're there and they're invested. And that's what we're doing, and that's what our neighbors are doing. And it's all starting to work together. And we have some really exciting big plans coming.
So we keep saying that
Mhm.
and we keep teasing it.
I know.
But you know what?
I think we can
N-
give one of them.
Now's the time.
Right, yeah.
What's happening next First Friday,
So
Erica?
on our next First Friday, June 5th, from 5 to 7, Common Roots will be popping up at Fort Orange General Store and bringing a very wide selection of all of their local beverages, from their
Amazing.
amazing beers, um, to their new seltzers and mixed drinks, and also some NA options for anybody who wants to just come down, feel it out for themselves. Like Joe said, we had the doors open this first Friday. We certainly will on the next one. And hearing the music coming out from the different bars, we'll have sip and shop, I like to say. So get your amazing sips from Common Roots, who's a local brewery right here in downtown Albany, and then walk around, listen, shop, experience Sobro.
Yeah, that's awesome. And big shout out again. I know we did it last week, but to Rich from Common Roots, just to have other business owners
Mhm.
that are open to ideas like this.
Yep.
Like when we were asked to go to the Capitol Center and do a pop up
Right.
shop there.
Hmm.
Yes, of course we're going to do it. Is it exactly what we do? No. Are we going to make it work because it's an amazing opportunity and we want to help, other people out? 100%. And that's
Yes.
what Rich is doing.
Hmm.
He could very easily have said, well, just here's a coupon. They can, come down after. But
Right.
no, he's putting himself out there, coming down, setting up, and creating an experience for the community. And that's
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, it's so nice to have the enthusiasm that I was just saying of everybody that wants to see Albany grow, become what we know that it can be. And I hate to say what it used to be, because it's not going to be what it used to be. It's going to be different, but it's going to be amazing because we have so much love down there.
And we talked about it when we were talking about, potential growth for Fort Orange before, doing it align to your values and your core beliefs and who you are. And I truly believe that's what the Sobro, the downtown area, is doing right now. We're doing these collaborations, we're growing, but
Right.
we're doing it from the inside out, like we said. It's all meaningful, it's all purposeful. It's not a quick money grab or,
No.
some sort of scheme. It's people have been talking about this and we've listened. All of us, all of the business owners have listened and we're willing to try some things. So
Right.
come on out and check it out.
Right. Why not? I mean, we're all already there. So why not work together to build it up?
Sounds like an awesome idea.
I think so. It is. It's going to be great.
Can't wait for it.
So, back to what we kind of mentioned earlier in the episode with 518 Day and the race. If anybody wants to join our Sobro team, please do so. We would love to grow our team. All you have to do is go to the race registration and select a team, like join a team, and you'll see Sobro Captain E. Cabello. So please join us if you're thinking about racing that day and want to be a part of a bigger community.
So moving forward, can I call you Sobro Captain E. Cabello?
No, I do not want anybody to ever call me that, but that is what I'm listed as.
I'm just going to venture a guess that going on an international podcast and saying this is something I never want people to call me, probably not the best idea.
Oh, no.
Because now it's on.
Well, I guess that and your ducks, right, Joe? So now we have a little back and forth. Who's gonna go harder, ducks or captain?
That was a dirty play right there. But very well played.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. All right, before I get myself in any more trouble,
Okay.
Why don't we call it an episode?
Now you're scared. What's she gonna come up with next?
All right, everyone. We want to thank you once again for listening and joining our craziness right here on
Small Business, Big Life, inside Fort Orange General Store.